when ought you to speak up and when not? This is really case by case. There are no rules to this whatsoever, but I will say there's an energetic opening. There's a sense of possibility. There's a sense of speaking up will be a contribution, but it doesn't mean necessarily people are going to like it or agree with you, or be kind or what have you. It's really, will speaking up situations where you ought to stay silent? Oh, great question. I'm just going to give you like a little view here. There's like some ridges up there that I suppose I could hike up to if I really wanted to. I don't really want to. And I do want to go paddleboarding. And can you see the lake? I don't know if you can see the lake behind me. Let's go find a lake. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm finishing these delicious videos to you. And then let me get the paddleboard. It's still only in the 50s. We're about at 9,000 feet up here. This is called Lewis Lake. And so I brought my bikini, but I don't know if I'm going to wear it. I might wear my shorts and a fleecy. Oh, so situations where you ought to be silent. I think a lot of us who have grown up maybe, be seen, not heard. Or if we did speak up, we'd get the crap beat out of us. Or people were drunk or stoned and crazy, and whenever we spoke up, they would tell us we were crazy, even though we were completely speaking the truth. Those of us who have had those kind of experiences, we don't speak up much because, like, what's the point? We're going to get hurt, judged. It's not going to make a difference. And then we can feel really disheartened, disempowered. And then we can get like passive aggressive when we do sort of speak up. Or we just hide and don't speak up at all. And we say yes when we mean no. And we can get depressed. Ooh, look at these. There's a bunch of canoes. Check that out. That's kind of cool. Huh. So when ought you to speak up and when not? This is really case by case. There are no rules to this whatsoever, but I will say there's an energetic opening. There's a sense of possibility. There's a sense of speaking up will be a contribution, but it doesn't mean necessarily people are going to like it or agree with you, or be kind or what have you. It's really, will speaking up further your life, your expression, your... I'm just really happy. Let's just have a look at the lake right now. Okay, here we go. So, I don't know what it's like a solar panel something. Yes, to juice up the rowboats. Okay. Well, I'm excited to bring my paddleboard down. So, I'm not sure if you feel comfortable in checking into the energy of situations. I teach a lot of my clients how to read energy from their bodies, not try to strategize and figure shit out from their mind, because the mind can basically talk you into or out of anything. There is, of course, divine mind that occurs when we are in a coherent state, when our heart is open. That's a better way to access the mind. But from a closed heart and a fearful heart, trying to use the mind to figure out whether to say something or not, I wouldn't recommend that. I don't think you're going to get a good read on the situation. However, in your body knows. And so you can say to yourself, I choose to share my truth in this situation. And then listen to your body, and your body's going to be like expansive, open, more life, maybe a breath, or your body's going to like contract. You might get a stomach ache. You might feel nauseous. You might feel heavy. You literally might even like cave over for a no. You're going to have to figure out how your body works. And you can practice by asking your body, truth, my name is Rumpelstiltskin, which if it is, that's great, but probably it isn't. So, and your body will be like, hell no. And you'll go, okay, that's what a no feels like for me. And then then state your true name, and your body will be like, yes. And you'll figure out what a yes feels like. And then you start to learn yes and no. You can use this for food you want to eat, freeways you want to drive down, or whether you should speak up or not, or whether it would be a contribution to speak up or not. And then if it's a contribution to speak up, I would let go of the outcome. Let go of winning, let go of being right, let go of looking good, and speak to have a contribution of your truth shared in that moment, as a gift to all, not as a way to try to dominate and be right and make something happen. It rarely goes well when that's our motivation. So yeah, I guess I would ask, why is it that you want to speak up? What is the outcome you're looking for? Are you willing to let go of that outcome and simply show up in your truth so that your voice is heard, your voice matters? I would simply caution, sometimes when we've been very withholding in our communication, we can often swing the pendulum to the other side and like, well, I have to speak my truth. And it's a more of a reaction to not having spoken up for a long time rather than an actual choice in the moment that would actually be the benefit of all. Because sometimes saying nothing at all is the most profound communication. Saying nothing at all can be the most profound communication. Not needing to be right, not needing to have the last word, not needing to like give them a little jab. Yeah. So what I would request, so thank you for this question, what I would request is a little more context in what specifically you're concerned about, whether to speak up or not. Even with parenting, there's even different ways of speaking up, teaching more from a mentorship place as your kids get older into being teenagers rather than the way we used to parent when they were tinier. I remember when my son became, I think it was about 13, I was guided by Mark Schillinger. I think his site is called Challenging Teenage Sons, I think. Brilliant man, very supportive on my journey as a parent. And he invited me to start speaking instead of, but we agreed on this and you didn't keep your word. And it would just cause fights every time, to like take a beat and basically start to speak about the values of our family. Accountability, for example. Give the definition of accountability. Give an example of what, in this situation, accountability would look like. And then to say thank you for listening and move on. And shift from being mother to being mentor. That was huge for me, but received so much better than obviously my exasperation, nitpicking, or drama. It went over a lot better with my son. So ask me more questions in terms of what specific situation, whether you ought to speak up or not, so I can support you more and also teach you how to listen to your own body and heart to know that what you're sharing is a contribution to you to share, or whether just saying nothing and letting it go is actually the highest choice. So much about this is our intimate relationship with ourselves, feeling into our hearts, knowing the wisdom, those whispers inside, and getting out of our spinning heads and really cultivating that sense of safety and worth from the inside out, so that we don't need a situation on the outside necessarily to change in order to know that we're enough and know that we're secure inside of our hearts. That gives us a lot of freedom, a lot of choice, and allows us to show up more as leaders of inspiration in our lives, which I think we're all would like to do so, and knowing that that is a contribution. All right, thank you so much for this question, and I will see you next time. Mwah.